Okay, first up we're going to give you in Magnificent Style. Let me pop the box here. I know this is a little... So the first thing we're going to see is the rules. Of course I put them in the box upside down. These are, they come in right at 20 pages, but you've got a comprehensive example of play here at the back. Some victory conditions and how you score the game, and it goes into a little bit of historical detail to where if you score so much you did as good as Lee, or Meade was driven back to Washington. So really the meat of the rules come in right at probably 10 pages with a lot of examples. All this is components. Your front page is blank, so you go cover, and then you don't even start hitting the rules until page 1 is like 3 pages in. And then you get into setup and all that. So you get that. You get a beautiful 22 by 25 hard mounted board. And again, I'm just going to pop this open. I know my camera work isn't very fancy, and as we go forward we'll get better and better at this, but it's been a while. And I just wanted to give you something to look at, especially if you back the game, so you know what you're getting. Beautiful 22 by 25 board. The Union position, this is the field where Pickett's charge occurred. Here you see the Confederate positions. You know, there's Davis's Brigade, Brockenborough, all the way down here to Pickett's division. You've got all your charts on here on the board, the sequence of play, how your leaders work in the game, the movement table, and then what the movement table does. The game comes with a tray. It does come with a tray. Player aids, which are thick cardboard. They come in your counter tray, spare piece. You get all your counters. You get plastic bags to store your counters in. And something cool we're doing with most of our games nowadays is we are giving you a battle archive. This is something that we are doing. You'll see it in Battle of the Bulge here in a minute. But it's a battle archive, so you can record your game. Here's one I played 2 days ago, and you can see I've marked like where my units finished, my leaders, that, you know, I had 2 killed and 1 wounded, and then explained what I wrote down and how I did overall. You get a nice, beautiful deck of cards here. Instead of the chits in the original, you get cards. Top is Confederate, the bottom is Union. And they work the same way as the chits in the old game, only Herman threw in a curveball here for gamers. He put in a reshuffle the deck card, which means that in the middle of the deck, you're going to have to reshuffle. You get 6 blue dice, which are Union combat dice. You get 6 gray dice, which are Confederate combat dice, and the red and white dice are the movement dice. Tray stores everything very nicely, so you can keep your game nicely organized, nice and neat. As you can see, I can put this away with one hand as we prepare to show you the Battle of the Bulge. We're hoping to do maybe one other title in this series, and that would be Franklin, because the battles are so similar yet different. I'm thinking about doing that. And by the way, this isn't a one-time pad. This is a whole pad of these that are double-sided that you can use to keep track of, like I said, your wins, your losses. The board lays nice and flat. Boom. Put it away one-handed. Kinda. I'm going to pause the camera here so we can look at Battle of the Bulge. I want to go into this. This is by Dan Forney. This is his first game. He has one other game right now currently on pre-order with GMT. Okay, so what do you get with Dan's game? You get these strategy cards. Anybody that remembers Dunkirk, France, 1940 from us will remember that we had the optional strategy cards. Similar in this, that the Germans can pick one of 4 strategy cards, and on it are their victory conditions. The American player will not know what the German has picked until the end of the game. Pretty neat little thing that makes each game different. You can even, I suppose, do it randomly and blindly if you're playing solitaire. This isn't a solitaire game, however, I feel like it can be played pretty easily solitaire. Again, Battle Archive. You can mark who played who. You can show your unit positions. You can mark down which strategy cards you picked for the Germans, and then it gives your victory levels. And again, you get a whole pad of these to score your victories. As with all Worthington games currently, I gotta get this out. You get a beautiful hard-mounted board. Now this one's bigger than in Magnificent Style. In Magnificent Style is 22 by 25. However, this mama is 22 by 34. Push that out of the way. Oh, I'm burying my cards here. Done by our artist, Sean Cook. He's just done a magnificent job with this board, and looks like it's not laying flat, but a little back fold, little back fold, little back fold, and everything's flat. Typical Battle of the Bulge board. You're fighting in the Ardennes, 1944. You can see the German starting positions here. This is like shaky cam, isn't it? You know, you've got your standard positions. There's St. Vith. Oh, let's see St. Vith. Zoom out a little bit. Now, if anybody's ever played a hold-fast game, they remember resource points. And resource points allows you to fight, move, and resupply units, add steps to units. Now, this isn't a block game. However, it is basically a hold-fast game. Each turn, the Germans get resource point, and as you would expect with a Battle of the Bulge game, historically, they are going down, down, down in resource points as the game goes along. You've got supply points, victory locations for the Germans exiting the board. You've got Namur, you know, Liege, Dinant, all the historical locations. Nothing fancy there. The board has the terrain chart on it. It's got your resource point chart and your movement chart for units, and how many dice they rolled in combat. Also on the board is a handy display showing you what each counter means. Inside the box, you're going to find a German and Allied order of appearance, on the back of which is a handy setup guide. So you set your units up, you flip it over. These are the German at-start units that'll be on the board, and then these are the reinforcements. Same thing for the Allies. You've got a handy, I know that light is murder, you've got a handy setup guide. Huge counters, guys. These counters are absolutely beautiful. They are huge. You do have step-down units. As units take hits, they are, and I'm going to pop this guy out and then show you something. This is how big this counter is. This is a huge counter. That's the 9th SS, part of the 6th Panzer Army. It shows you in the top left corner how many steps there are currently in the unit. This is step 4 of 4. As he takes hits, you'll notice he's a 4-4-6. He's now a 4-3-6, and 3 shows how many steps he has left. But it also shows you in the top left corner 3 of 3. If he takes another hit, he would be replaced with this unit. These counters are so nice that you can pop the counters back into the piece tray, and it stays right in. Something we didn't do in previous hold-fast games was put in move and attack markers. We now have those because basically you spend resource points and can move and attack in any order. And when you're done, you put a finished marker on them. Here's your Allied pieces. You've got some British units. The Americans. The game comes with 2 sets of rules since it is a 2-player game. However, it can be played solitaire. And you also get, as it with all current Worthington products, counter trays. So you get a nice deep counter tray. You can see how deep that is. It's, you know, probably an inch deep. and probably an inch wide. Area for your dice, the bag comes bagged, any markers, and then a handy lid to keep everything in. Just wanted to give you a preview of what's coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. If you haven't ordered, you can still pre-order this at the discounted price. Stand by for even more videos on how to play both in Magnificent Style and Battle of the Bulge. More content coming soon. Thank you.